Love. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It does not dishonor others. It is not self seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no records of wrong. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. This Bible scripture is from 1 Corinthians 13, 4-7. And it always brings to me, and it brings to my mind, a very special person I would like to share with you. Someone in my life who has influenced me greatly. My dad, Paulo Salah. My dad, a self-sacrificing man, enjoyed music, dancing, a forgiving man, disliked being lied to by anyone, especially us. Now let me talk about my dad's characteristics. My dad was a hardworking, dependable, supportive, giving, full of wisdom, led by examples, historian, storyteller, family-oriented, musician, unselfish, God-fearing protector. In 1975, he moved to the United States at his father's request. His first job was a janitor. My dad saved up enough money to bring his wife, 3 children to the United States of America within 1 year. He got a job at the paper mill company. He was the leading machine operator. He would work his way up to being the supervisor position. Paulo was the breadwinner. He always working to support his wife and 8 kids. Never called in sick and always worked all the overtime he can get. The one day his wife called in sick for him, his supervisor called back. Sure it wasn't a mistake. Asked my dad if he was okay. Whenever we would ask him to buy us something, my dad would say, "When I was your age, I walked 10 miles to school without shoes." I later realized that he was telling the truth after going to someone with him. Let me talk about my dad's accomplishments. My dad lived the American dream. He did not become rich just by playing the lottery every chance he got. My dad, he was able to buy a house just 5 minutes from his job. He and his wife and his 3 kids, his 3 eldest children, became U.S. citizens. All of his children, he had 3 girls, 5 boys. They all graduated from high school. 2 of them, the eldest, the girls, went to college after high school. His eldest son and daughter, they ended up going to the United States Navy and college afterwards. My dad was not rich, but in spirit and in family, he danced with joy and happiness. I'm a grandpa, I'm a grandpa, I'm a grandpa. Finding out that his eldest daughter had just told him she gave birth to her son while stationed in Italy. When he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, he maintained a positive outlook. My dad never showed us till his death, until he had his wife call into work that one day. My dad always prepared for the days ahead. When he noticed his sons and daughters were short of money, he would ask them if they needed help with anything while handing them the money when no one was around. He never told us he needed to pay back. Refused to take the money. If they tried to give him the money, he would just tell them to use the money wisely. My dad, his lasting impact. My dad's lasting impact. My dad, he had a bad temper, but was a patient man. He would not let his emotions get the best of him. The one and only thing that would set him off is when he caught a person lying to him. He told us to don't get into fights, walk away from instigations. But he also taught us to protect ourselves as well. My dad's sister came to visit him for a month. While staying with us, our telephone bill went up. The bill went up 30, 40, 150, 200 due to the long distance phone call. When we asked her about it, she denied making any phone calls or any distant long calls. Pretending to make a collect call at the time, Paulo Salah knew she was lying to him. And he exploded, grabbing the phone and listening to the person on the other end to see it was an operator. And then he hung up the phone and told her he could no longer use any of the phones and would have to wait until she returned to Samoa to speak to her husband. One day, while sitting in the yard with his wife, a teenage boy ran into the yard and hid behind my dad. Boys chasing him tried to walk into my dad's yard when his wife told them she would call the police if they would trespass onto the property. A few hours later, when the boys who were chasing the teenage hiding behind my dad were gone, my dad drove the boy home to make sure he was safe. Here's a little experience. Let me talk about my life experience with my dad. Growing up with my dad, he set examples not only in words, but by living them in life. The importance of family to him was going to work every day, rain or shine. When he was laid off, he would be at the unemployment office looking for a job, accepting whatever and was available. He would spend his time off resting unless there was an event, such as an award ceremony for his kids or cultural event. He would attend with his wife, where he would dance the night away. He taught me how to drive way before I was old enough to even take driver's ed class. When my dad retired, he would sit in his front yard, under the orange tree. It was like he was waiting for me to get home from work. He would call me over and tell my sisters to make something to eat if it was dinner time. When I would get home in the morning from graveyard, he would be under the orange tree and he would wave at me. He would come over to my house and spend some time talking about everything and everything. My dad. In my conclusion, I hope that you were able to see my dad, Paulo Salah, who made an impact in my life with what I have shared with you today. He was a strong man of faith who was caring and rich in spirit and loved his family. The one person who was my friend, my guide, my teacher, my protector, and my life was my dad. I'm thankful for my dad when he believed in me and gave me all the freedom I need.